Greetings! It is I, Countess Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome! It is time to continue my discussion on the 4th edition of Shadowrun. We last left off, we were diving into the Matrix and the wireless world. Let's continue by talking about programs. Now I'm not going to do every detail in programs, but I do want to let you know about the different types of common use and hacking programs, because all of these programs combined are the main variety of programs you're going to be using. There are some others, but these are the majority of them. They're the more important ones to talk about. When I talk about the common use ones, I'm talking about the ones that pretty much everyone is going to have in one of their systems. Even non-hackers are going to have these programs. Let's just dive into the list of them. Analyze. This is the one you're going to be using for your matrix perception. It's understanding basically another icon. It's analyzing something. Browse allows you to basically use it to search the matrix. It's an information searching tool to find out different bits of information. Command allows you basically to issue a command to some other device. This is usually used on something, let's say, like a drone, but it is, of course, commanding different things as you need it. Edit is your combination of word processor, web processor, video editing software, various different things. You need to edit it, you need to change it. It's graphically related in some way. You can do it with edit. Encrypt. It basically encrypts a signal that you're sending out. Usually it's a wireless signal. It's encrypting it so that you can't just interpret the data without having a special passcode. Now let's talk reality filter. Now once you enter into a node, it's SimSense basically landscape. It's what it represented as. Its metaphor is going to attempt to ingrain itself upon you. Your reality filter will sculpt whatever metaphor is expressed within this node to what is appropriate to what you want. Basically, you're filtering it to look the way you want, rather than having whatever node you're in sculpt it the way it wants. It basically was originally designed as. That's the thing that reality filter does. It filters the reality of the SimSense of the node in an appropriate manner for you to interpret it the way you want it to, rather than the way the node wants it to. It will be an opposed check of your reality filter plus response versus the target's system plus response. If you win on this, you filtered the reality to the metaphor that you desired, and you get +1 response while you're within this node. If the node wins or it's a tie, basically its metaphor beats out, and the metaphor you'll be expressed within that node will be the one that that node normally has. You will be at -1 response. And of course, the last one of the common programs I want to talk about is SCAN, which scans for wireless networks. Every wireless device has in its OS is going to have a built-in scan program of at least one. This means that it's wireless, it can still scan for a network. That's effectively what you're talking about. Now, hacking programs. Let's move on in talking about them. These aren't necessarily illegal, some can be, but more or less they could be restricted. These are things that hackers and security personnel will use. Also, ICE tend to be uploaded with some of these programs so that they could use them against hackers or other people that are breaking security. You've got armor. Armor protects against matrix damage that would be dealt to your icon. Attack is effectively the other side of that. It's attempting to attack an icon or persona and cause it matrix damage. It specifically does various things depending on whatever you're targeting in order to cause this damage to its icon. Biofeedback filters protect you from basically dangerous neural feedback into your brain, i.e. someone's trying to cause you actual stun and physical damage to you while you're in Matrix. This is caused, of course, by Blackhammer and Blackout, the two programs that are made to actually cause biofeedback in the target, damaging them. It is important to note that Technomancers get an automatic biofeedback filter of their charisma, effectively, that they don't have to purchase with their abilities. Now let's talk, of course, about Blackhammer. It's made to, of course, cause a biofeedback filter in the target that you're going at, causing effectively them to either take stun damage or for them to fry their brain. The feedback from their comlink to their brain, this connection, is going to basically fry it. That's the point of it. It is really for a hot VR person, someone who's using hot VR, and to target them and cause damage. If someone's in cold VR, it's going to automatically do stun damage rather than physical, and it will not affect either someone that's just using AR, or it won't affect anything like ice, agents, sprites, or programs. So it has a specific type of target in mind. Blackout is the basically automatic stun version of that. It's made to knock someone out. So it would work the same for both then hot and cold VR users automatically. Now, Data Bomb is a program that you basically set up to do damage at a certain point in time whenever it's triggered. It's not a direct attack. You'd put it either in some kind of file or a node that it would be activated when it's basically being accessed and no one's using the passcode to the Data Bomb. It, of course, will do matrix conditions damage equal to its rating to whoever is there and shut itself down. But it could do some other things too. It could shut down the node it's in. It, of course, could delete a file within that node. Data bombs can be set up in various ways. A file can only have one data bomb in it, and a node can only have one data bomb in it. So effectively, you can only have one data bomb uploaded in any various area that it could protect against. Now, decrypt, of course, is decrypting encrypted signals without using the passcode. Diffuse. It effectively is what you would use to diffuse a data bomb if you don't have the passkey to it, and you could just use that to basically shut it down. ECCM, the electronic countermeasures. It stops jamming. It's as simple as that. We talked about jamming. This is the program you'd use to effectively overcome jamming. Exploit, the universal hacking tools. When you want to hack something, the ever-evolving exploit program is what you're going to be using to hack into it. Medic. You use it to repair an icon. You could use it to repair your icon, especially out of combat when you're not getting murdered by other various icons and ices and other hackers. Now, granted, it's important to note that technomancers cannot use Medic on themselves. It doesn't affect them whatsoever. But a technomancer could have Medic to repair other icons if it would seem appropriate to whatever they're doing. Sniffer. This basically picks up on data trails and wireless signals to intercept them. You're basically sniffing them out, kind of finding out what's there. Spoof. This effectively is creating like false IDs and other information in order to stop someone from tracking you. You're spoofing in order to prevent a track. On the other hand, track is basically following someone's data trail from wherever you're at back to the original node which their signal is coming from. Basically the node of origin that they are originating all the signals from, whether wired or wireless connection. That's what track will do. Now, in order to use any of these programs, you first have to, of course, load it into the system you're going to be using it, and then use a complex action in order to activate the program. Like we talked about before, too many programs on open at once can affect your response. So make sure you don't have too many active at once. So that's it for today. I introduced you to the common use programs and the hacking programs. I let you know just a little bit about each of them. You can dive into more depths if you want to know a little bit more about each of them on your own. But effectively, I let you know what each of them does and how it can help you to get one of these programs, especially if you're even hacking, or if you're just a common person that needs one of these programs for something that you're doing in your normal life. Things like hacking programs, they might be restricted completely, or they might need some kind of license. You're going to have to look into those things. On the other hand, common use, have as many as you want. The choices when it comes to programs might be important depending on what you want to do when you relate to the matrix. Always think about that. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about, of course, agents, ICE, and I'm going to move into talking about VR. We did talk a little bit about it today with hot VR and cold VR when we were talking about the Black Hammer. We haven't really dived into the depths of VR. AR? Yes. VR? No. But regardless, if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to say, anything you think I left out, please leave in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. It shows support the channel, the Empire, the work I do. If you want to show some extra support, you can go check out my Patreon. Link in the description below. But regardless, until the next time, I bid you farewell.